7:24. Do you at any point ever feel overwhelmed by technology? Well, do you feel that you spend too much time on your phones or your computers, or maybe other family members do, and it's distracting from your relationship? Well, researchers from the University of Cambridge have looked into whether technology is affecting us for better or for worse. Well, let's speak now to Tanya Goldhaber, who is from the University of Cambridge and was one of the main researchers on the project. A very good morning to you, Tanya.
Good morning.
What prompted this study in the first place?
Well, technology is changing the way that we communicate on a day-to-day basis. And what we were really interested in seeing is, first of all, how people were actually using communications technology, because there's a lot of fear right now about how technology is being used both by young people and by adults. And we wanted to see how realistic that fear actually was. And then, in addition, we wanted to see if there were any sort of negative impacts of communications technology, how we could sort of start to mitigate those, and steps that people could take to have a more balanced relationship with technology.
And so what's the fear of using technology too much?
I think that there's this fear that as we interact more with our devices, we're interacting less with each other, face-to-face and in person, but that's not actually what we found as a result of the study. We found a still overwhelming preference for face-to-face communication in both adults and children. So this idea that technology is sort of dehumanizing our communication, I don't think is really founded.
So, if you take Facebook, for example, other social network sites exist, but, you have 2,000 friends, but you never meet one face-to-face because you're stuck in your bedroom talking to them on cyberspace.
Yeah, we didn't find that at all as part of the study, and we found, particularly with social networking, that people were using it to maintain an existing social network that happened offline as well.
What about, the real benefits? I think of Skype. I have relatives out in the States and we use it regularly, and it's a wonderful way to stay in contact with people who you can't see face to face.
Absolutely. We heard so many times, as the world sort of expands and as families are no longer all living in the same town, that it's absolutely critical for keeping in touch with people that you want to stay close to. And that was a really, really positive benefit of technology that we found over and over again.
So who feels overwhelmed by technology exactly, Tanya?
We didn't find one particular group of people that was more overwhelmed than others. One of the big things that's happening right now is we're seeing a huge influx of new kinds of communications devices, so smartphones, tablets. Those are just starting to hit the market in the last few years. And I think that as those become more prevalent in society, people start to use them perhaps a little bit too much, and then they can take steps to moderate their use and become less overwhelmed. So I think we found that about 1 in 3 people had sort of felt overwhelmed by communications technology, but at the same time, those were the same people who were taking steps to try to moderate their use and have a more positive relationship.
Okay, so what's the conclusion of this report, and what do we do with it? Everything's fine? Let's not worry about it?
It's not that everything's fine, because there definitely are problems that arise. It is that there are steps that you can take to be in control of your use of communications technology. So the main message is that you can be in control. It's not technology taking over. There are definitely steps that you can take.
Okay, but it is only a matter of time before machines take over.
I don't think probably not.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Tanya, thank you. That's Tanya Goldhaber, who's the lead researcher from this project by Cambridge University, looking into the overwhelming nature of technology, or maybe not, as is the case from this conclusion. It's 7:20.